Anyway, what am I talking about today? Let me have a sip first. So, as you've gathered from this title, I'm talking about networking, or rather the art of networking. If you've watched any of my earlier videos talking about myself, you would have heard me basically talk about my career journey to where I am right now. And I basically have never applied for a job and gotten the job. Every single job that I've had has been referrals, you know, people that I've met throughout my career, and they just told somebody else that, oh, I know this girl, Rafire, and she does 1, 2, 3. She's really good at 1, 2, 3. So maybe give her a call. And then I meet the person, the CEO, the hiring manager, and yeah, that's really basically it. I mean, my first job, I got it because I was a trainee at the hotel, and then thereafter they hired me permanently. I mean, they had seen what I could do, so they hired me permanently. When I moved back to Joburg, I wrote to the director at UJ, one of the directors at UJ, and said, listen, I'm coming back to study, to further my studies, and I'm looking for something. I have a scholarship, so I don't need to work because it covers everything, but just, I need experience. And she told the director of operations that, hey, this girl, she's good, give her a chance. And I got that internship, the learnership. And then thereafter, a colleague that I had worked with, even at UJ during the events there, knew a CEO who was looking for, a CEO for a communications company who needed somebody to come through. So she said, she's available, And I got a call, and I came through. And even, with my current company, I literally met the VP of operations, the managing director of operations, marketing manager, and HR, one of the senior HR ladies, at an event. I just happened to sit with them at a table. I literally wanted to sit with Mam Kheti, the vice chancellor of UCT, because she was at that event as well. And I wanted to sit with her because I knew her. I wanted to sit by the table having lunch so I could speak to the deputy mother. And there were these people. And I just started talking to them. And, a couple of months later, just through conversations back and forth, they were really impressed with who I was as a person and wanted me there for some reason. Never knew my work, never shared a CV, literally. And, that's how I ended up at that company. And even at the company, I just moved my way. I mean, it's been 2 years, 2 months, and I'm in the 3rd department in that company. And just from going from, start off in marketing, speaking to the managing director of operations who knew an opportunity coming through and said, hey. And then from there, managing director of legal, who's like, I'm about to do this project, and I know you're passionate about this. Are you interested? And I was like, well, of course I'm interested. Learning, that's what I'm about. That's my mission for my 20s, to learn as much as I can. Literally, go from one company to another department because I just want to absorb every single thing, right? So anyway, I've literally never applied for a job. I've applied for jobs, don't get me wrong, but I never get the job for some reason because God just brings something better. Anyway, networking. So there's a recent study actually on Forbes that, showed that in this day and age, companies actually don't list 70% of the jobs that, are out available, because a lot of companies are now advertising internally first. And then in most cases, when they advertise, they already have somebody in mind. It's just regulation and procedure. My phone just dropped. It's just, for regulations and, procedures, and let's do things right-ish. But yeah, they already have somebody in mind before they even advertise. So networking is that way, another way for you to get that job that you want or get into that industry that you want. So I wanted to chat up with you guys about that, and I found this study very interesting. It's an article. It's called "The Art of Networking in 2020." It's online, Forbes. I'll share the link. But firstly, the first thing is, it says here, finding motivation and mission. And this, what basically that means is, networking is a strategic thing. It's not just something that you just happen to wake up and say I'm going to do, but it's actually strategic. I mean, in most cases, it just happens by chance. But if you watch my last video where I spoke about knowing yourself to sell yourself, you have to start there. You have to know who you are. Do the actual work, internal work. Just like, okay, this is what I'm about. These are my strengths. So you have your pitch ready, basically. It's like you're going to do a business pitch. You have your pitch ready, so that whenever, anywhere, because that's how I do it. I have my pitch ready. So I could be meeting Cyril tomorrow, and I'm like, hey, Mugai, this is me. Let me tell you about Refula. This is what Refula is about, So first thing first, obviously, you have to find the motivation. If you're going to go out there and network, you need to do some work first, almost like do your background check or your background research, whatever. And that is in terms of who you are as an individual. What are you going to sell? What about yourself that you're going to sell? And then also understanding what is the mission, right? So are you looking to network because you want another job, a better paying job, better whatever job, or better company, whatever the case is? Or are you networking because you want to form those relationships for when the time comes, you have those people in your network to be able to reach out to? You don't always have to network because you want a job. You could be very happy in your job, but you just, so to make an example, there's an organization, a non-profit organization of basically bosses in South Africa, female bosses in South Africa, women who are doing really, really well in their industries. And it's very exclusive. So I met somebody at a function as well, who I knew is part of that very exclusive organization. So for me, it's one of the things that I've been looking at to say, one day I want to be a part of this. I want to be part of that league of women who are doing really well in their industries, the boss babes, So when I met this individual, this lady, we clicked, we got along very well. And she gave me her business card, and I have been like this, literally. I don't call or text all the time, but once in a while, I just, hey, how you doing? Just check out, and that sort of thing. Because when I get to that point or that level where I feel like my contribution now to my industry, my contribution, to society, whatever the case is, I've done enough and I want to elevate that, then I can reach out to somebody like that, So, and it's funny enough because she's the one who reached out to me recently about this organization's, a function and networking. But I was very shook because I was like, how do you know? I'm actually very interested in this. But anyway. So, that's the thing about networking, it's not always necessarily because you want a job, but it could be for, for future. You never know what might come up. So that's one of the reasons why, that is for me, the mission for that relationship, with that person was because of that. And then also the second thing, embracing your personality, I think in my last video, I spoke about authenticity. Brands and companies are looking for authenticity. We're no longer looking at, trends and all of that. So embracing your personality, that is one of the things that will get you those people that you want in your network. I think for me, that's one of the things that I, even before I could articulate it, I think I've always just been myself. Anybody who knows me, like, this is me. all the time. I talk a lot. I'm very loud. I mean, I'm also, I do have some introverted qualities about myself, especially when I'm at home, when I'm in my space. Like literally, I like don't don't visit me. Just like you need to give me a heads up. You need to give me at least a week heads up that you want to come and visit me. Because when I'm at home, I'm in my space. I just want peace and quiet. I just want my movies or my books and my wine. Like don't just come, J. But yeah, anyway, I'm very, I think I'm both introvert and extrovert, but my more extrovert side, that's a bit louder. But that's the thing about networking that a lot of people get wrong. They think, oh, because I'm an introvert, I don't have that ability to just walk up to a person and introduce myself the way I would. That's the thing about yourself that you should embrace. I think the beauty of knowing who you are, I'm an introvert, these are my strengths and these are my weaknesses. So, in a situation like networking where you're in an event, an exclusive event, you already know that about yourself, so you know how to navigate that space because you know yourself so well. When you do your SWOT analysis, you already know which attributes of yourself should I pull from, and that those are your opportunities. Highlighting the work that you do is also one way of putting yourself out there and showing who you are. But I think just because you're an introvert or somebody who's not doesn't find it easy to just walk up to a person and say, hi, my name is Rafidwe, and this is what I'm about. Embrace that side of you that is just, maybe a little quiet, because some of these people as well are also quiet. So knowing about yourself, you could just happen to sit with somebody at the table, but you tap onto what you like. You like history, you talk about that. You like art, you talk about that. Those sort of things. I don't know if this is making sense, but embracing your personality, knowing what it is that you're the best parts of you, and embrace that. You don't have to be an extrovert or loud or in your face like me. And then becoming memorable. So that goes hand in hand with what I'm saying. The thing about embracing yourself and the best of you, your qualities, that's what makes you memorable. Because people can tell when you're putting an act. Like they can tell, okay, this is what you think I want to hear or what I want to see, therefore you're saying it. We can tell, especially even in interviews. I mean, I can tell when you're just saying the right things because you think that's what I want to hear. So definitely, you need to, what's going to make you memorable? What about yourself is going to make you memorable? And that could be, the work that you do or your journey to where you are right now. Just telling somebody about, being authentic. I think authenticity, you can never go wrong with it, because authenticity goes hand in hand also with honesty. You're not putting a facade, you're not, putting an act that next time you have to remember which act to put on the last time and pull from that. So always being authentic will definitely make you more memorable, and you don't, like I said, have to be what you think the other person wants to hear or see. So I think a lot of people in networking think, I must be in your face, I must be loud, I must be this. No, honey, you could just be that calm water flowing, but what comes out of your mouth is just like, wow, actually, wow. And then, oh yeah, this one says work smarter and not harder. Definitely. I'm one of those people. I do this when I get to a new work space. I find, and this is actually this book is called Eat That Frog, Get More of the Important Things Done Today. And it basically teaches you, the discipline of doing the biggest, hardest things first in your day-to-day basis. But even for me, when I come to a new space, so when I joined my current company, I found like, you know, I suggested an event, something they had never done, and I ran with it. Like I found like the biggest project almost that has never been done. But even if it's something that has been done, but nobody's putting their hand up for it, do that. Like put your hand up for that, because that's what's going to make you stand out. So for me, my working smarter and not harder is always standing out. You know, I always make a point that I'm going to do something that's going to make me stand out and show my work ethic, that, you know, just how brilliant I am, basically, you know, because that's the thing that's going to stay with them. And then you just need to do that one thing. They'll be like, wow, actually, this girl is bringing something to the table. And then next project, they'll just be calling you. And then next thing, they're in the boardroom discussing, you know, the things that make the things happen. They're like, who actually should we consider? Refill it. Because why? They know your work ethic. They know how you work. They know you're brilliant, and you know you're not afraid to go for the big task and go for the big things. Because if you're just that person who works smart, you always, yes, you arrive early, sharp, but everybody else also arrives early, and then you just, you know, when you're working hard, you stack in the papers and this, but nothing about you stands out because there's 5 other people who are doing it. You know, that's not working smart in my case. So definitely that is one of the things that I do personally. So you must also, you know, find that thing that makes you stand out, because if you, for example, are in an industry, say communications, in, you know, you work on this big project, great, and your boss moves to another company, and they are that side in that other company, and you are looking to move, one, they already know what you bring to the table, so it's easy for them to also be like, hey, we are looking for somebody to do this, and I know that you bring 1, 2, 3 to the table. Are you interested in this? Or even like you could just do it freelancing, because an extra coin never hurt anybody, you know. So the art of networking, that is what 2020 is about. I know for the, you know, 2020 is not a great year, but really think of that, especially now moving into 2021. The world is shifting, guys. It's shifting, you know, the old school way of doing things don't apply no more. So you have to look at what must I do. And I think because now, you know, a lot of people are working from home, it's calm, you know, we're not partying, we're not doing the things that, you know, we're not going out, it's not that busy. This is the time to, you know, update like your LinkedIn, you know, reach out, invite these people. I get, like, it's crazy, I was saying, I get more people sending me LinkedIn requests, friend requests, than I have Instagram followers. It's crazy. Anyway, that's, LinkedIn is more important for me anyway, for my line of work, so that's great for me. But do follow me on my Instagram at miss_refilwe_d, both Instagram and Twitter, and then LinkedIn, Refilwe Dwamach. So yes, you know, this is the time, that moment to be reaching out to those people and shooting your shots. Shooting your shot, guys. It never hurts. You know, if you've seen my videos, if you've been here for a while, you know who there's somebody that I want to meet for 2020. Very important industry leader, boss babe. And I shot my shots, and then she checked up my LinkedIn profile. So I'm in the girl's radar, because that's how I do it. So next time she meets me, or I meet her rather, or my name's, she'll be like, oh yeah, I know this girl, I know, yeah, because we're connected on the LinkedIn, and I know she sees my posts and what I talk about. That is one other way of showing people who you are. And, you know, so when I meet Madame go eventing somewhere, and I'm like, hi, my name is Refilwe Dwamach, she'll be like, I know that name. Ah yes, you are that girl. And it could be either good or bad, but she will know who I am, honey. So that's what you want to do. Anyway, let me go and enjoy the rest of my wine. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, guys, if you want coaching, one-on-one coaching, I will share the link to my website so that we can schedule a call, and you and I could have a one-on-one personal development coaching to get you to the place that you want to be. That pitch was terrible, by the way. I'm so sorry for that. I won't do it again, but yes, I will share the links so that we can make 2020 at least a good year. It won't be a great year, but at least it could be a good year. And then 2021, wait, I do things. I do for the life. Anyway, I'm out, guys. Cheerio.